Oscar Jackman just did something his father never expected. He chose his mother. After 25 years of being the most private celebrity child in Hollywood, Oscar Maximilian Jackman just broke his silence. Not with a statement, not with an interview, with his absence. And what he is saying, without saying a single word publicly, is devastating Hugh Jackman more than any interview ever could. The truth is, sources close to the family are all saying the same thing. Oscar and his sister Ava are fiercely loyal to Deborraleefurness. They do not support their father's relationship with Sutton Foster. And they have made it clear that if Hugh Jackman marries this woman, they will not be there to watch. That is not a silent treatment. That is a verdict. But this is not a story about a son taking sides. This is a story about a 25-year-old who watched his mother save him and now refuses to watch her be erased. But to understand why Oscar's choice matters so much, you need to understand what his mother gave up to bring him into that family in the first place. Because Deborraleefurness did not just adopt a child, she fought for him. And now, 25 years later, he is fighting for her. This is the story of how Hugh Jackman lost the two people who knew him best, and why his own son's silence is louder than anything he could say. Let me take you back to 1995. Deborraleefurness was already a star in Australia when she met Hugh Jackman. She was 39 years old, established, respected. He was 26, a nobody, fresh out of drama school and cast as her love interest in a television show called Corelli. She was playing a psychologist. He was playing a criminal. The chemistry was so obvious that even the crew noticed it, but Deborralee was cautious. There was a 13-year age gap. She was at the height of her career. He was just starting his... People warned her. They said it would never work. They said he was too young, too ambitious, too hungry for fame. She married him anyway. In April 1996, Hugh Jackman and Deborraleefurness exchanged vows in a small ceremony in Melbourne. He was 27, she was 40, and she believed she had found her partner for life. What happened next should have been the beginning of everything. Instead, it became the beginning of her heartbreak. Deborralee wanted children desperately, but her body would not cooperate. She went through IVF treatments. She had 2 miscarriages. Each one, according to Hugh himself, devastated her. Each one took something from her that she would never get back. But Deborralee did not give up. She and Hugh decided to adopt. And in May 2000, they brought home a baby boy from California. They named him Oscar Maximilian Jackman. Oscar was not just any child. He was of African American, Hawaiian, Caucasian, Croatian, and Cherokee descent. Deborralee reportedly wanted her family to reflect the world she believed in. 5 years later, in 2005, they adopted a daughter, Ava Elliott Jackman. And here is the part that breaks my heart. Deborralee did not think of Oscar and Ava as adopted. They were her children. When she discovered Oscar had Croatian heritage, she got a Croatian cookbook so he could feel connected to his roots. She watched him carry that cookbook around like it was treasure. He was 7 years old. That is the kind of mother Deborraleefurness was. She did not just love her children. She saw them. She made them feel like they belonged. And for over 2 decades, their family looked like the gold standard of Hollywood marriages. Hugh Jackman constantly praised Deborralee in interviews. He called her his rock. He said she was the greatest woman he had ever known. He credited her with his entire career. Now consider something he said back in 2017. In his exact words, "Deb is the greatest thing that ever happened to me. Everything good in my life traces back to her." 3 years later, he was sleeping with his co-star. Because while Hugh was saying all of this publicly, something else was happening behind closed doors. Something that Deborralee suspected but could not prove. Something that would eventually destroy everything she had built. In 2020, Hugh Jackman began rehearsals for the Broadway revival of The Music Man. His co-star was Sutton Foster, a 2-time Tony Award-winning actress who was married to screenwriter Ted Griffin. According to sources who spoke to the Daily Mail, Deborralee grew suspicious the moment Hugh started working with Sutton. The show was delayed by the pandemic. It did not officially open until February 2022. But Hugh and Sutton spent months together in rehearsals, workshops, and out-of-town tryouts. And according to a bombshell report in Us Weekly from November 2024, their affair began during that time. Here is what the source told the magazine. A lot of people on Broadway knew, and they kept it quiet because both of them are so nice and great people. A lot of people knew. They kept it quiet because Hugh and Sutton were nice. Meanwhile, Deborralee was at home, trusting him, supporting him, being the wife she had always been for 27 years. On September 15, 2023, Hugh Jackman and Deborraleefurness announced their separation. The statement was carefully worded. They said their journey was shifting. They said they were pursuing individual growth. They promised to put their family first. But Deborra Lee knew the truth, and she had to watch as that truth unfolded in slow motion. On May 23, 2025, deborraleefurness filed for divorce. And in early 2025, Hugh and Sutton started appearing together publicly. They went to events, they were photographed looking happy, then the low-key outings turned into something bigger. By October 2025, they made their red carpet debut as a couple. 4 days later, she released a statement that told you everything you needed to know. Her exact words were, "My heart and compassion goes out to everyone who has traversed the traumatic journey of betrayal. It is a profound wound that cuts deep." That word, betrayal, that was not chosen by accident. According to sources who spoke to various outlets, Deborra Lee was devastated by Hugh and Sutton's public appearances together. One source didn't mince words. Seeing them gallivanting around was a real kick in the teeth. But here is where the story takes a turn that nobody expected, because Deborra Lee was not alone. Her children chose her. According to multiple reports from Star Magazine, the National Enquirer, and other entertainment outlets, Oscar and Ava Jackman have made their position crystal clear. They are fiercely loyal to their mother, they are incredibly protective of her, and they do not support their father's relationship with Sutton Foster. Sources say Oscar and Ava do not approve of Hugh rushing into a wedding with Foster so soon after the divorce. And according to one insider, Hugh knows he cannot push this wedding forward without his kids on board. And this is where it gets worse for Hugh. According to reports from March 2026, Hugh Jackman allegedly proposed to Sutton Foster during a New Year's trip to Costa Rica. But his wedding plans are now on hold. Why? Because his children will not give him their blessing. And Hugh Jackman is reportedly reluctant to have a wedding without Oscar and Ava present. The man who won Academy Award nominations, the man who played Wolverine for 17 years, the man who had the perfect marriage for nearly 3 decades. That man cannot walk down the aisle because his own children will not stand beside him, and it is not because Oscar and Ava are being difficult, it is because they watched what their father did to their mother. Oscar Jackman is now 25 years old. He was adopted at birth. He was raised by a woman who fought to have him, who celebrated his heritage, who made him feel like he belonged in a world that could have rejected him, and now that woman needs him, and he is there. What most people do not understand about Oscar is how private he has always been. He has been photographed in public only a handful of times across 2 decades. He has never given an interview. He has never done a red carpet. Almost everything the public knows about him has come through his parents. But in February 2018, Oscar did something extraordinary. He posted on Instagram introducing himself to his biological sisters. Here is what he wrote. "I finally got to meet my biological family. That tells you something about who Oscar is. He is a young man who values connection, who values family, who understands that love is about presence, not blood. And right now, Oscar is present for Deborra Lee, not for Hugh." Meanwhile, deborraleefurness is writing her own ending. According to multiple reports, she is shopping a memoir and publishers are already circling. And here is the part Hugh Jackman fears most. Oscar may be in the book, because Deborra Lee has 27 years of stories to tell. She has emails, she has memories, she has the truth, and she is not planning to hold back. Here's the thing I keep thinking about. Hugh Jackman spent decades building an image. The devoted husband, the loving father, the nice guy who everyone adored. He was Wolverine. He was the greatest showman. He was the man who cried talking about his wife in interviews. But images are not the same as reality. The reality is that deborraleefurness gave up her career primed to support his. She went through IVF and miscarriages so they could have a family. She adopted 2 children and loved them like they were born from her body. She stood beside him through every role, every award, every red carpet. And when he decided he wanted something else, she found out the way everyone else did. The reality is that Oscar and Ava watched their mother suffer. They saw the tabloid headlines. They saw the photos of their father with another woman. They had to process their parents' divorce while the whole world speculated about what went wrong, and they made their choice. They chose the woman who chose them first. This is what is happening here. Hugh Jackman is learning something that every person who has ever betrayed their family eventually learns. You cannot buy forgiveness. You cannot charm your way back. You cannot fix what you broke with a proposal to someone else. Your children remember. They remember who was there. They remember who left. Oscar Jackman has not given a single interview about his parents' divorce. He has not posted about it on social media. He has not released a statement through a publicist, but his silence is his statement. His loyalty is his answer. His presence at his mother's side is everything Hugh Jackman is not getting. And that, more than any memoir or tabloid headline or public feud, is what is breaking Hugh Jackman right now. He wanted the career, the awards, the family, and the new love on top. But you cannot have it all when the people who loved you most are standing on the other side of the door, waiting for you to realize what you gave up. Deborraleefurness is 70 years old. She spent 27 years building a life with a man who left her for someone he met at work. She could have disappeared. She could have let the humiliation swallow her. Instead, she is writing a book. She is rebuilding her career. She is spending time with the children who chose her, and she did not have to say a word against Hugh Jackman. Her son's loyalty is saying it for her. There is a line from Anne Lamott I keep coming back to. It goes like this: if people wanted you to write warmly about them, they should have behaved better. Deborraleefurness is holding the pen now, and Hugh Jackman is finally understanding that some stories cannot be edited. Oscar Jackman said everything he needed to say without opening his mouth, by standing with his mother, by refusing to pretend everything was fine, by making it clear that there are consequences when you betray the woman who gave you everything. This is a son telling the world exactly who his father really is. And Hugh Jackman will have to live with that for the rest of his life. If this story made you think about the mothers in your life who deserved better, drop a comment below. And if you want to know what Deborra Lee is planning to reveal in her memoir, make sure you are subscribed because we will be covering every page. The woman who spent 27 years in someone else's shadow is finally stepping into her own spotlight. And this time, no one can take it from her.